My anxiety right inside of me. Da, 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 da. I am overwhelmed. This is 48 fucking sharks. And shit's real, man. Fuck anxiety. So basically, fucking anxiety, man. I've had it my entire life, and I've never known how to explain it until the moment that I finally knew how to explain it, if that makes sense. And I used to talk to my dad about this, and, he never really knew what I was talking about until, again, some point, I talked about something that he knew about, and it made sense. It clicked. Fucking, the light went off, and he remembered a moment where him and his younger brother, my uncle, who has passed away, Graham, goddamn Ackridge, rest in peace. He, they were just at a restaurant, and all of a sudden, according to my dad, his brother, Graham, his face turned fucking tomato red, and sweat started pouring down his face, and, he just started freaking out, and he couldn't handle it, he couldn't be there, and he left. Nobody knew why. Nobody knew why that happened. And that was probably like in the 60s, mid 60s, mid 60s. Because my dad was born in like 52. So 60, he would be 8. So then, 70, he would be 18. So, okay, so it was probably like early 70s. So mental health really wasn't a thing, like I'm pretty sure lobotomy was more of a thing than fucking medication was at that point. They were probably only giving out lithium or fucking lobotomies, I don't know. So yeah, nobody really knew why or what that experience that my Uncle Graham had. But my dad, as having a son who goes through and experiences anxiety and panic, he's noticed that I kind of have the same tendencies, the same physical movements and reactions and physical, like, just, you can tell when somebody's freaking the fuck out. And so my dad and I, we have a fucking amazing relationship. I couldn't ask for a better relationship with my father. I know not a lot of people do, but fuck, man, I realize the situation I'm in. So, God bless him, my dad. So, yeah, we talk about this. We talk about my mental health. We talk about the state and the behaviors and the moods that I enter. The highs and the lows and everything. And, at one point, he ended up saying that it's kind of like having the coffee jitters. And I was like, you're exactly right. Because, and I asked him, I was like, oh, can you elaborate? And he was explaining how, like, when you have too much coffee, you're obviously gonna be on edge, and you're gonna be, you're gonna be shaking, and you're gonna be quick, and your hands won't be as nimble, and you're gonna make little mistakes because you're just the quick movements, and your body is almost like you're jittery, like like you drink too much coffee. That's fucking anxiety, bro. But like in example form, like and again, I feel that the best way to explain anxiety to somebody that does not feel anxiety, like, how do you explain what the color blue looks like to somebody who was born blind? If somebody who was born blind has never seen a single color or light or shadow or shape, how the fuck would you explain blue? I feel like this is the ability to do that. Anxiety is essentially, without fully comprehending it, caffeine or coffee jitters. But it's just to the point to where it's not jitters, it's trembling. And it's not just a physical sensation, but it's a mental and emotional battle going on in your mind. And that just made a lot of sense. And a lot of my anxiety comes from like the fear, the terror of what's going to happen. That's the mental aspect of it. And, I have agoraphobia. So, I could get on a bus, but I'm still going to believe that somebody on the bus is like going to shoot it up, or that some random person might just come up and stab me. I could be walking on the sidewalk and I feel like if I'm walking next to somebody, like, yeah, they could have a knife, there's nothing stopping them from stabbing me right now. And I know how illogical that is, but that's my belief. However, I get the rules of society and I realize that the odds of that happening in society are very low. Like, I have to just kind of ride with that. I know the rules, but I don't fucking trust them and I don't believe them. And, that's my thing. That's a personal thing that I personally have to deal with. And if you feel this at all, anybody watching this, you got to figure out your own thing. You got to get into therapy. You got to see yourself from a different perspective. It's, therapy is like a fucking, I heard it on some talk show radio, believe it or not. And she was saying how, like she asked, do you have a mirror in your house? Of course, yes. So then she asked why. And they're like, so I could see myself, see how I look. And it's like, of course, you have a mirror in your house to see how you look, to see what you look like, to see, if you have like fucking spinach in your teeth or whatever. It's to gain an exterior outside perspective on what you want to see of yourself. And that's literally the equivalent of therapy. It's a fucking mirror for your emotional self so you could see yourself from a different perspective to see what the fuck you look like. Whether you need therapy or not, anybody can benefit from that shit. And anxiety is a son of a fucking bitch. So here is 3 techniques that I know that help me, that I'm gonna go and just fucking run through with you guys. So the first one, and I'm pretty sure these are like Ericksonian grounding techniques. Ericksonian, Ericksonian. I forgot his full name, spacing on it right now, but they're grounding techniques. So there's the 5-4-3-2-1 method. I forgot the no, I didn't forget. Yeah, of course, I didn't forget. So yeah, acknowledge 5 things that you see around you. I see a little shot glass. I see a hair tie, a lighter, an Xbox remote, my mouse. I mean, a remote, my speaker, my phone, So just name 5 things that you see around you. Now acknowledge 4 things that you can touch. I can touch my desk. I can touch the grooves of this box. I can touch the strings of my hair. I can feel the keys of my keyboard. Now acknowledge 3 things that you hear. I hear myself talking, and this might be a bad example because I'm making a video, but I hear crickets. I hear the hum of my computer. And I hear my cat licking herself. Fair enough. So then acknowledge 2 things you can smell. I have allergies. My nose is clogged. However, I do have ground herbs. I can smell that. And I have some spray. I can smell that. Now, this one is difficult if you're not able to have, things available to acknowledge. But we have two more. So, and then now one thing that we can taste. So, that doesn't necessarily have to be about flavor. It's just, it can be. You could eat a chip and evaluate the chip. You could put a piece of gum in your mouth, evaluate the gum, think about the flavor. Or you can just, move your tongue around your mouth. Feel your mouth. Feel your tongue. A Tic Tac. A cup of water. Anything. Even just the texture of your mouth itself. So that is the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. Another one is to, and this one came when I was asking my therapist, so if I can't do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, like if I'm in the car with somebody, then what do I do? What if, what if I don't have my cell phone and I'm in the car with somebody, or, my battery's dead and I'm at a place, and I'm just kind of freaking out and I can't do all of those things. So the next thing is feeling, tactile sensation. So you wanna feel something, right? And you want to feel every possible thing that you can feel. So if I feel, you could just, put your hands on your hips. And, just have, a single figure just, okay, so I feel the threads, I can see that they're black, the pants feel rough. They might, they might be a little bit plastic because I can feel my hands skipping across a few of the threads. That, or especially if you have a fidget cube. A fidget cube is amazing for this one. And then another one. I remember the third one. So if you can't, or feel uncomfortable in doing the other two, again, because, like feeling something, and then the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, obviously, there's reasons why that could be rough. Another amazing one, which is probably one of my favorite ones, is to say, for example, I have a Chinese food card right here, right? So just say, for example, you had a card, comic book, you have your phone out, look up a picture, anything. Literally just look at an image, right? Look at an image, and then give yourself 10 seconds, right? Then don't throw it away, cover it, right? Name as many possible things that you can from that object. So, this is the backside, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so there were 3 long lines. 2 of them were intersecting, and they were brown. They had street names. There was an orange building somewhere. The overall graphic was green. The border of the card was a honey mustard yellow. It was traced with black lining. The front of the card did have flare text, and it was reddish colored. And just explain what you just saw as deeply as you can. But the great thing about that is that you could do it within your head. You don't have to speak. You don't have to do anything. You just look at, you just, run through it. And nobody would know that you're doing a grounding technique, that you're like kind of losing it, and that you have to implement this technique. So, yeah, I hope this helped. I try to make this short. And yeah, man, if you're not following, please subscribe. I mean, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I make these videos. I be honest. You know, I try to be as genuine as I can. I try to be as honest as I can. You know, I'm not into all that clickbait. I'm not into all that. Like, we have all these people out here that are trying to be like, everybody wants followers. Everybody's chasing that clout. Everybody wants followers. Who the fuck is leading? You know? So I just hope I can help you. I hope I reach out to you guys. And I hope you pass it along. You know, subscribe, like, share, comment. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. 48 Sharks. Peace.
Root toot toot roo, ri ti ti ti, rat ta ta ta. Subscribe, subscribe.